if Anderson gets the ball, there'll be 2 or 3 St. Louis players around him. Ellis gets the ball, there'll be 2 or 3 DeSales players around him. So it's going to be fun watching those two. But
DeSales, the Pioneers, shooting for that, the trophy that East St. Louis Lincoln won last year. Won in '82, and Benny Lewis going for his second in a row. The starting lineups are there. The matchup, the high point in the middle. At 6'10", LaFonso Ellis, 6'9", Eric Anderson. They went head-to-head once before, 22-19 in scoring for Anderson. But Lincoln won the game. DeSales in white, trimmed in gold from the Chicago Catholic League. The Tigers in independent, wearing black, trimmed in white and orange. For all the marbles. First turnover, DeSales starts with the ball.
St. Louis is in their customary 2-3 zone.
Ellis goes in the middle of that zone. Anderson on the baseline. DeSales has a tremendous player. They surround him with role players and hard workers. Sometimes they call them the blue-collar guys. That's a compliment. Simmons rejected by Ellis. If you've watched all the tournament, yes, that's Ellis wearing 20. He wears 50 in the light, 20 in the dark. If he's on your team and you're coaching, you wear whatever you want.
You know where he is, too, regardless of this number.
Lincoln shot 43 from the field and held Manual to only 27 in the semifinal today. They took out the Rams 67-50. DeSales won 2 games in overtime. Nobody scored. Akins is the point guard, 5'7". This is Eric Anderson's first shot, partially blocked. He's got it back, steps in, puts it up and missed. Vincent Jackson the rebound. DeSales starts. Zone. 1-2-2. McNabb is on the left wing. Stolen away from LaFonso Ellis. Nicely done by Sean McNabb.
Ellis got the ball inside, and Anderson was behind him, and they had a man in front of him.
DeSales has Anderson roaming across the lane. Akins penetrates for 2.
Now, see, that's when I said Donald Akins was the key. Just on that last play, where he penetrates, that time nobody picked him up, so he had the shot. If they get on him, he should dump it to the open man.
Jackson had a brilliant shooting game this afternoon in the quarterfinal with 14. He wears number 21, and he shot in 2 threes that hurt Manual. The low block, LaFonso. There's Michalski with the rebound. DeSales in the lead.
This is the first game for East St. Louis where they weren't pressed, full court the whole game. So St. Francis wants to make a half-court game out of it.
Simmons missed. Tipped by McNabb. Rebound, McNabb. Blocked by Ellis. You'll hear that more than once. Michalski, dish off Anderson, is stolen. Tigers want the tempo quicker. Nice save inbounds, but Anderson rebound.
Both teams a little tentative, a little nervous. Both defenses are keeping the middle very tight.
Akins with the ball, the career assist leader at DeSales. Baseline, Eric Anderson. Yes!
That's a nice little shot, because if he can make that, they're going to have to guard him there, and that'll give him some room to either dribble in or pass out and cut to the basket, get a little closer to the rim.
Eric Anderson, a quick jumper for somebody 220. You can watch and see that. Hunzo Martin, so dramatically improved since the early going in December. The sophomore, first deuce for Lincoln. Anderson heads to the basket. Now he barges in for 2.
Well, there's a body flying there. I think this is going to be a physical game, because I don't think the officials are going to call it close, because they realize there's some very big boys out there.
Martin answers, no. LaFonso Ellis rebounds and fouled by Michalski.
Ellis got the rebound and brought it down a little bit, because I think he wanted to go up and dunk it. Michalski got him down by his knees. I think we're going to see it again here. See, Ellis will get the rebound here. His mistake is to bring it down. Official said he got part of his hand.
All right, the Tigers reload. Ellis is being fronted low by Simmons. Bradford with the ball. Ellis bounces free, wheels it to Stevenson. Yes.
Nice assist pass from Ellis over Stevenson.
6-4 to Sales. 4:20 to go. Opening period of the championship game. It was 71 and 72 when Thornridge, Coach Ron Ferguson, won back-to-back state titles. It hasn't been done since.
Coach Kasbar's just yelled out special. That's the play they're running now.
It's Simmons with a nice ball fake. He goes in for a layup.
Nice fake. He got Ellis up in the air and then took it in for the layup. See, I think with East St. Louis, I think you got to get it inside. You've got to do some faking. You've got to get sometimes get the ball out.
Jackson with a pop. Ellis with the board. Fade away. Yes, sir. Not a great shot for most people. Fading away.
Well, if you're DeSales, too, I think they'd just sooner take that shot from out there rather than a dunk. But he can make it either way. A little more high percentage, though, that dunk.
Akins at the point. He finds Anderson in the corner. Squares up and pops. Boom.
That was close to it. That was a three. Three-point shot for Eric Anderson.
He looked down at his feet to make sure he was behind the line and drilled it to Sales by 5. Blocking foul, McMahon. You talk about excitement in the air.
You know, before this game is over, I bet you Ellis counters with one of these things. Yeah, he's far behind the line. Look at the follow through. That was a great shot of his release. Very good.
Jackson to the right. Bradford a 3. This the works. Martin rebounds. Oh, nice tip by one hand by Jackson, but Anderson's got it. Under 3 minutes, first quarter.
Frank, there's no way Anderson's ankle has bothered him. See the way he's playing? He's getting off the ground, and he looks 100% to me.
How much adrenaline is there out there?
Well, that's true, too.
Up to fill up Lake Michigan. Don Akins.
Very important for him to shoot that shot, because with the 2-3 zone, he'll be open at that point position.
Check this, 48% from the field today. Held Rock Island to 33 for DeSales. And they play some defense as Simmons strips the ball away. DeSales with the ball and a 7-point lead. Down in the tunnel, one thing I heard and could sense, they expect to win when they play. Every time. And so, the Tigers.
Well, I was going to say, if I had coaching either one of these teams, I think I'd expect to win, too. That's what makes it such a great matchup. It's not Ellis against Anderson, it's team against team, and we've got two great teams.
2:11 on the clock. There's timeout on the court. DeSales is in the early lead for the state championship. One of your network sponsors, the American Dairy Association of Illinois.
15-footer. Like I said, a type of shot you'd want him to take if you're DeSales, but, you know, he can hit that shot.
DeSales with the basketball, 2:09 in the first quarter. Lob to the goal to Anderson, and Michalski has it outside. Akins penetrates, weeps it over. Nice touch by Simmons, won't go down. Rebound Anderson with a left hand, and Ellis spears it. Martins on the left wing, goes inside, is fouled.
The last time down, Frank, on that out-of-bounds play, that's the one where DeSales is used, where they lob the ball to Anderson and he dunks it. Now here we've got Ellis in the game, and he's not going to allow that. They were waiting for it, and it was fortunate DeSales still had the ball because Ellis did knock it away.
You talk about adrenaline. Eric Anderson coming into this game for the season was 0 for 2 at three-point range and drilled one. So he's got his first. The Tigers go to Martin. The sophomore moves in. Ellis working and working inside. A lot of banging, very physical. And a personal.
I tell you, when there's some action in there, you can usually find Simmons right in the middle of it.
This foul will be on Simmons. You're really right about Simmons. He does the little things. What a valuable guy he is to have on a basketball team. LaFonso with a skyhook. Akins got it. 13-6 DeSales. Foul on Jackson.
Well, Frank, one thing we haven't seen, and we've been, I thought this was a key as we progress. Of course, they see East St. Louis play, and as they beat people, you say, okay, I think this is how you can beat them next. The first two games, they were pressed a lot, and some of the players, the perimeter players, had easy jump shots from the outside. Now, with DeSales playing the half-court game, they're not getting those easy jump shots, and they've only got 6 points here with a little over a minute to go in the quarter.
One of the reasons I think the Tigers are so much improved is that Ellis is so much better than he was last year when he was a good player, a very good player. Now he's eye-popping.
Yes, I agree.
He has so much more intensity.
Yeah. He's a complete player, plus he's a leader also.
Akins, 3. Anderson, a rebound. Talk about great players. That's a package.
Well, Anderson is being very active on the offensive boards because if he stands, he's going to be screened out by a number of people. So when the shot goes up, he's moving very, very well, and he's getting himself in a position to get those rebounds.
DeSales in their first appearance in the Sweet 16 has come to the championship game, and they're in the lead in the first quarter over the defending champ. Akins roams the front. They may go for one.
That was just signal from the bench. Coach wants them to go for one. And of course, with East St. Louis in that zone, since they're losing, they're going to have to come out a little bit, create some action.
East St. Louis averages 81 a game. They're on 6. DeSales shortening up the game and taking care of the ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a half-court game if DeSales has anything to do with it. East St. Louis, I think, is pulling out of their zone, going to man-to-man.
Michalski beat his man inside, but Ellis took care of business. And a foul on DeSales. Simmons.
Michalski tried to use the rim as an extra, kind of to keep from getting the shot blocked, but I think LaFonso had him either side. He could have gone to the left of the rim or the right. He was going to block the shot.
Ellis affects so much. What he doesn't block, he alters. Hanzo Martin's open. Yes. Now 10 seconds. Lincoln within 5. Bad pass by McNabb. And the Tigers have 4 seconds to cut the lead to 3. Vincent Jackson there. He's a 6'3" senior. With 4, with 3. Hanzo Martin may warm one up again. He's falling away and through it. And missed at the end of a thrilling quarter. In the title game, DeSales in the lead over East St. Louis Lincoln. One of your network sponsors is Illinois Beef Council. East St. Louis Lincoln. From the north, St. Francis DeSales, and they can play with any high school team any place.
It was interesting at the break for the quarter when the DeSales kids came over. Coach Kazmars was emphasizing that they play smart. I think they wanted to go for one shot. Michalski took the ball in, had a shot blocked, wound up committing a foul, giving up 2 points. Also could have given up another basket. So you know, the emphasis is to play smart.
Eric Anderson has 3 men around him. He takes it up. No, he's got it back though. Michalski. Now Akins. Akins gets in and fades. Won't go. Simmons tips at it. Rebound Anderson. No goal. Offensive foul. Big play.
Well, we got a chance to see it again here. There's the shot. Kind of a wild shot. McNabb kept it alive. I don't know. Well, there's a lot of contact in there, and I was just going to say that Eric's not real happy with it. There's a lot of contact in there all the time. I think the officials have done a great job so far because you don't want to call any ticky-tack stuff on these 2 big guys and get them out of the game. But when it costs a basket, I think you have to call it.
There's Anderson still reacting to the call. Ellis will go to the foul line. If you think about a smaller Joe Barry Carroll, more active, of course, 27 points, 17 rebounds, and 8 blocks. Look at those numbers. He missed the free throw, and Anderson has yet another rebound.
Well, he already plays with a heck of a lot more intensity than Joe Barry Carroll does, unless I see him playing good.
You bet. Akins at the point. Nice fake by Anderson, blocked partially. Ellis has got it. 2-on-2. Ellis has got it back and in and out. He's got it back down. Boy, LaFonso Ellis with quick reactions to the ball. Now DeSales needs to answer.
DeSales' goal against this press is just to get the ball up and set up their offense.
Akins got between two men and knocked one in. 15-10, the Pioneers. 6 points for Akins.
Excuse me, Frank. I don't think you'll see DeSales trying to get the ball up against that press to get easy shots. They just want to get it up past half court without turning it over.
Martin, stop and pop. DeSales doing a good job on the boards.
Well, those are the shots, too, they have to drop because they're really giving him that shot from that position. They were getting a timeout by DeSales.
With 6:15, times out, DeSales in the lead by 5. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies. One quarter, the stats look like this. Lincoln shooting only 29%. DeSales got off 2 more shots. Not a free throw attempted. 9 rebounds for the Pioneers to 7 for Lincoln. Turnovers just about even.
That's a pretty close game. You would think the shooting would be a little bit down for the quarter. I think you're going to see that as the game progresses, that'll go up.
Akins has had a big role in the game, the point guard for DeSales. Here's McNabb trying to go inside, and the ball slipped through his hands. Bradford's got it. Joined us late. Peoria Manual won the 3rd place game, 59-42 over Rock Island. Ellis turns on Anderson. And Anderson's 2nd foul.
They lob the ball over Simmons. There's Anderson playing D. I don't know. I thought it was a good call. Although, like I said before, there is a lot of contact between those 2 young men most every time the ball goes inside.
3rd leading scorer in the tournament starting today, LaFonso Ellis.
Frank, that's Anderson's 2nd foul. I don't know if we've mentioned that before, but with almost 6 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter, that's really a big call.
Ellis a pair. Lincoln within 3. DeSales breaks the press. Get the ball to the middle to the point guard. Michalski wing right. Ball to the baseline. Nice move by John Simmons.
Yeah, good hard move to the hoop, and he laid it up because Ellis was right there and just missed the block.
4 points for Simmons. Martin lobs inside. Ellis turns, steps in, and scored.
He got away with, I think, a mistake there because when he caught the ball, he really brought it down to about knee level, and he's letting all of the DeSales players have a shot at it to knock it away.
8 for LaFonso. Eric Anderson pull up one-hander.
Hey, coach, let me shoot outside. I'm a forward.
9 for Anderson. DeSales by 5 at the 5-minute mark. First half. Jackson's in the corner. Bradford a 3. That's Danson back in a hurry.
Well, they need that outside shooting. There's no question.
The intensity level. You could see Benny Lewis on the edge of his chair.
Might notice against this press that they're putting Akins at half court, and I think the reason for that is they don't want him handling the ball with those big guards, 2-timing him, and he's not that big, so I think they figure they'll get him the ball up court a little bit and let him do some things with it.
He's 5'7". Anderson, acrobatic shot, and a long rebound to Kunzo Martin.
It's a great pass by Michalski, and kind of surprised Gareth, though.
The Tigers shoot for a tie. Bradford goes inside. A foul on Simmons. Mike Pasmars gets up. Urge his team on. Graduate of Blackburn, class of 72. He's been 6 years at DeSales. Simmons with 2 fouls. Anderson with 2. Ellis. There's John Shoemate, Notre Dame. Great assistant. He'll, of course, be coaching LaFonso Ellis. The game is tied. And into the game, For DeSales, 25, Rod Amison. A 6'5" senior.
This gives DeSales a little bit more size in there. He may feel, Coach Kazmars may feel he needs this.
Akins with the ball. Clock moves to 4:05, second quarter. Amison sets up at the high post. Anderson low. Still a zone for the Tigers. Anderson wheels around LaFonso. Simmons picks up the ball in the lane. It's a jump ball call. Possession goes to the Tigers. You read the lips. He got fouled, was what Kazmars said.
Well, he was reaching around him. He did have the ball. But it's one of those things that, you know, do you call a jump ball before the foul?
They collapse on Ellis. Over his hands, out of bounds to DeSales. 19 all. DeSales led 13-8 at the quarter. Not a lot of scoring. Very physical. Michalski. Now to Akins, a three. Ball is loose, picked up by the Tigers. Stevenson the board. Bradford in transition. A three. Jackson missed. Tip. Good by Martin. And the Tigers grab the lead. Hunzo Martin with 6. Now DeSales tries to answer. Looking into Eric Anderson. There he is. Left-handed move in the lane. Won't go.
It was partially blocked by Ellis.
Tigers on a run. Again, the DeSales bench wanted a foul. Jackson again to Ellis. Whirls. Stepped out of bounds.
Very important time for DeSales. I think very important time for Coach Kazmars too, because he's getting a little excited about some of the calls or non-calls, and certainly don't want a technical foul now.
Akins goes all the way, blocked, taken down by Anderson. He steps back in, and he is fouled. And you saw the coaches on the sidelines fire and ice.
Well, that's the way you got to go up there hard, and of course Anderson's got the body to do it, and they want the same thing out of Simmons and Amison also.
Foul is on Jackson. Ellis checks the scoreboard. It's 21-19 in favor of Lincoln.
Intensity. And the look on his face.
It's one of the real differences about him this year than last year. So much more intense. His skill level has improved.
I think for DeSales, they've got to get somebody to come up with a little bit more offense for him. I think they can't rely on Eric Anderson as much as they have.
2 more for Anderson. The game is tied in the second quarter. Martin, a big difference the way he's played since December. DeSales keeps the ball. Vincent Jackson. Ellis has Amison and Anderson around him. They're always aware of him on the low side. High post, Stevenson. Jackson on the move. Couldn't hit, but Ellis is there.
Yes, obviously somebody forgot to screen him out on that weak side board. Anderson was on the strong side. Either Amison or Simmons should have been down there.
13 for LaFonso Ellis. Make it 12. 2-3 zone. And Simmons goes to the baseline. Anderson, one-hander, won't go, but a foul.
See, there's a good example of relying on Anderson, I think, too much. He's inside the last time down. Now he's going outside for that jumper. There are other offensive players out there. I think they've just got to start looking at the basket a little bit more.
Sophomore Sean McNabb comes back.
Here we have that shot, and there's Anderson guarding the ball. But see, nobody screened Ellis out, and geez, he went about 11 feet, didn't he? Golly, just tipped it in. Nice soft hands.
Anderson with the shooter's touch.
Together, one. I tell you, Ellis and Anderson haven't disappointed us that good.
Not a bit. We talked about him reminding us a bit of Kent Benson. But he's got more bounce, a little more active.
What I like about both of them is that their dispositions are good. You know, they don't yell at their teammates. They encourage. They don't get too excited.
Here's the ball. Stripped away from Ellis, but a foul on DeSales.
See, I think what Coach Kazmar would like is the same thing at the other end. When he gets the ball inside and there's a lot of that reach, and he'd like the officials to call some of those fouls.
Dick Van Sciac called Ellis a windmill. There's Sean McNabb. All three baseline players for the Pioneers with 2 personals.
Well, both these big guys have such great touch. They're 6'9", and for being, what, 220 or 225, and they put the ball up there so soft.
In '86, Nick Anderson of Simeon was Player of the Year, Mr. Basketball in Illinois. In '87, Marcus Liberty. Who will it be in '88? Whoever, you're probably looking at him. Steal and score by Martin. Big play.
I think that's the first turnover on this press. That cost him a hoop.
It's a 4-point lead for the Tigers. 1:12 to play. East St. Louis Lincoln has favored the 2-3 zone all day. McNabb on the right side. They overload the right. Akins got penetration and was fouled.
I was just going to mention that Akins hasn't been penetrating as much. I don't know if that's part of the game plan or what, but every time he has, it seems to me, he's either dished the ball off for a basket. He's got a basket or 2 himself. That time he drew a foul. So, of course, we only have 56 seconds to go in the second quarter here. That might be something that Coach should talk to him about for the second half and start doing that a little bit more.
Chris McKinney, sophomore, into the lineup for the Tigers, replaces Vincent Jackson. Benny Lewis said, we have to stop Don Akins from penetrating. If we can do that, we're likely to be successful. The shot came out, but Anderson saved it. Simmons found a way free and then threw it away. Lawrence Bradford goes coast to coast. With 40 seconds, DeSales is 6 down. Very important part of the game. Simmons comes up to help. Here's your time in the second quarter. It's been a good quarter for the Tigers. Anderson's up the high post. You can see DeSales content with 1. They'd like to go in 4 down. Akins with 5. With 3. Anderson fires. No good. That's the end of a physical first half for the state championship. The Tigers are in the lead over St. Francis DeSales, 29-23. Now let's pause for these messages. A very physical first half of basketball ends that way, with the Tigers ahead of the Pioneers by 6. At the end of one quarter, DeSales was in the lead 13-8, and they had their way early. They were leading 13-10, but in the second quarter, they were outscored by the Tigers 21-10, and that's turned the game around. 3 fouls on all the baseline starters for the Pioneers. We'll check the scores. We'll have halftime features and more. Ellis leading Anderson 14-13 here at halftime. We'll be back. One of your network sponsors is John Deere.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to mid-court for the presentation of the 3rd and 4th place team and individual awards for the boys Class AA State Basketball Tournament. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the 4th place team will be Mr. Edward Roberts of Oak Forest High School in Oak Forest, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board, and Dr. Richard Stevenson of Dunbar High School in Chicago, who serves the IHSA as vice president of the board. At this time, please meet the Rocks of Rock Island High School, who finish the 1988 season in 4th place with a final record of 27 wins and 6 losses. Let's meet the principal of Rock Island High School, Mr. John Murphy. Head coach, Duncan Reed. Assistant coach, Jim Condon. Assistant coach, Mike Brown. And now the players. Number 33, Maurice Woods. Number 44, John Barnes. Number 23, Donald Mentria. Number 30, Fontaine Walker. Number 24, Ray Jackson. Number 45, Brian Jones. Number 22, Rick Kelly. Number 52, Lamont Wortham. Number 32, Shane McGahee. Number 14, Chris Allison. Number 34, Donnie White. Number 43, Anthony Pulliam. Manager, Bryce Amaker. And manager, Todd Stiebel. Those are the Rocks of Rock Island High School. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the third place team will be Mr. Lauren Stevens of Winona High School in Winona, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board, and Dr. David Turner of Porta High School in Petersburg, who serves the IHSA as president of the board. At this time, let's meet the Rams of Peoria Manual High School, who finished the 1988 season in third place with a final record of 29 wins and 5 losses. Here is the principal of Manual High School, Mr. Eric Johnson. Head coach, Dick Van Syak. Assistant coach, Wayne McLean. Assistant coach, Chuck Westendorf. Assistant coach, Jerry Stoll. Assistant coach, Ken Meischner. And now the players. Number 10, Terry Washington. Number 14, John Deal. Number 20, Lynn Collins. Number 30, David Booth. Number 32, Ken Sidner. Number 34, Howard Nathan. Number 40, Rick Morgan. Number 42, Damon Hendricks. Number 44, James Shuttleworth. Number 50, Jerry Williams. Number 52, Tom Wilson. And number 54, Demetrius Clements. Those are the Rams of Peoria Manual High School. And now for the trophy presentations. Presenting the fourth place trophy will be Mr. Stevens, will head coach Duncan Reed, and captains of Rock Island High School please step forward to receive the fourth place trophy. Mr. Stevens, if you please. Congratulations to fourth place finisher, Rock Island High School. And now, presenting the third place trophy will be Mr. William Mitz of Monticello High School in Monticello, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. Will coach Dick Van Syak and captains of Manual High School please step forward to receive the third place trophy. Mr. Mitz, if you please. Congratulations to Manual High School, this year's third place finisher in Class AA.
And our congratulations to the Peoria Manual Rams and to the Rocks of Rock Island. At halftime of our title game, East St. Louis Lincoln leads DeSales 29-23. We'll be back. One of your network sponsors, the Illinois Beef Council. Halftime statistics, crucial. Shots almost equal. DeSales with 2 more, but they've made 2 less, 33% to 44%. Each team has missed one free throw. Rebounds and turnovers, dead heat.
Well, it's almost like with the statistics there, it should be a little bit closer than 6 points.
LaFonso Ellis in points with 14. The sophomore Cunzo Martin 8. Bradford with 5 and Stevenson a deuce. DeSales, Eric Anderson 13 with 2 fouls. Akins has scored 6. Simmons has scored 4 with 2 fouls. Sean McNabb also has 2 fouls. That whole baseline for the Pioneers with 2 fouls apiece. We're going to come back with the final half of the Class AA Championship. One of your network sponsors, the American Dairy Association of Illinois. Frank Bissoni and Coach Bill Geist at halftime of the title game. This has been a showcase game, and it's been talked about in Ballyhoot all day long about Anderson and Ellis. Has there been too much emphasis by each team on their center?
I think so. They're going to the strength, obviously, and they're looking for that leadership. But I think the team that gets a little bit of scoring from their teammates, the other players, I think is going to be the winner here. I think what the DeSales, 3 people scored, and I think with East St. Louis, 4 people scored. But even with that one guy only had 2 points, I think. So we're just seeing the main people doing the bulk of the offense. Now 2 overtime games for St. Francis DeSales. What factor is that? Well, I think it was a factor at the last couple of minutes of that second quarter. Now DeSales has got a chance to breathe here a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see whether they come out with that spark. But I thought the quicker jumpers and the quicker people were on the East St. Louis side, and it could be the tiredness factor. Quickly, what would be the keys to the game for each team in the second half? Well, for DeSales, I think, is to keep bringing the ball up against that press without turning it over, and to get somebody involved. I would say Simmons or Bachalski or McNabb to get involved in the offense. We'll see if you're right when we come back. East St. Louis Lincoln in the lead. Let's pause for these messages. In the first half, rebounding leader on the floor, Eric Anderson of DeSales with 11 rebounds. LaFonso Ellis with 8. Ellis had 14 points and Anderson there with 13. First game the 2 teams played, Anderson had 22 points and 21 rebounds. Okay, DeSales starts with the ball. They're down 6. As you pointed out, Coach, those stats were really equal. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Akins starts or will penetrate a little bit more this half than he did the first. Tigers content to stay in their 2-3 zone, and why not? Michalski wing left, McNabb right. Now Simmons roams the baseline. Akins looked at a 3, gave to Michalski. There's the 3. Rebound, Simmons, left-handed foul. That's Ellis's first foul. I think this is one of the things that Coach, I forgot the
Kazmars.
Kazmars, I'm sorry. Forgive me, Mike. That he was a little concerned with that first half is that his star had 2 fouls and Ellis was blocking all these shots and doing all this stuff and didn't have a foul. Now we get Ellis's first foul at the start of the third quarter here. And you're looking at John Simmons, 6'6", a senior. You got to keep me from getting excited enough.
Oh, no.
Forget names and everything, forget where I'm at.
If you can't get excited at the state championship game, when should you? There's something
on an easier name or something.
There you see the delay, wiping up some powder or something like that off the floor.
Yeah, I think the East St. Louis players put that little powder sticking stuff on their hands, and they wipe it off, and some of it will drift to the floor. There's still a little bit over there, but I don't think it's slippery where one of the players will get hurt.
Simmons put home the free throw.
Got a friendly roll that time.
Well, imagine, team plays 30 games, they've lost 1. They're playing for the title against the team that beat them.
You know, we couldn't set it up any better, I don't think. You know, if you were to outline it at the beginning of the state tournament or whatever.
On the other side, a team trying to win its 3rd title for the coach, 2nd in a row. Cunzo Martin's double team. Stevenson's come to the high post, unusual for him. Martin fires.
Martin has been willing to take that shot, and he's hit it a couple times.
That's 10 points for Martin. Averages 13. Now DeSales needs to get momentum back. They came out of the chute with a lot of fire. Anderson ducks in and got it.
Nice power move. He got the ball, got his feet set where he wanted it to, and just powered it up and kind of dared LaFonso to block his shot. I think very smartly so, LaFonso backed off this time.
15 for Anderson. Look at Bradford move to the right. There's Ellis. Going against Anderson one-on-one. Shot is in and out.
See, the difference in the two shots that time is that Anderson powered to the hoop, whereas Ellis kind of faded away a little bit. And, of course, the power move is a lot higher percentage shot.
Ellis averages 23 points a game, but he's not really a big scorer, big time. Inside Anderson.
Nice fake that time. He got the ball, little pump fake or shot fake, got Ellis up in the air, and then went up for the easy shot. Very nice move offensively, and a good pass in.
2 in a row by Anderson. And what I mean when I say that about Ellis is that you think of so many other parts of his game first. Rebounding, intimidation, shot blocking, the rest.
Well, you're right.
Martin's free again. Good again.
There's an example of that passing you just mentioned. Little touch pass back to the corner for that easy shot.
And Martin enjoys the freedom. He's up to 12. The lead is 4.
Nobody from DeSales has really come out to take that shot as Martin's been doing for East St. Louis.
Akins slips the ball between the legs. Anderson posts up. Back out to Michalski. Now Akins for 3. Rebound comes to Martin. 5.5 to play, third quarter. Bradford launches a 3. It's way too hard. McNabb rebounds. Now DeSales sets up. They know what they want to do. They want to go to the block. Their big horse. Michalski looks in there. Here he is. Anderson backs his way in, can't get it up. And covered up by Martin. Crowd wanted a foul. Now a whistle, a technical foul has been called. Called on the bench of the Pioneers. So the technical foul comes at 4:52 in the third and a 4-point game. And LaFonso Ellis shoots.
I think it's obvious here that Coach Kazmaier thought that Anderson was fouled, and there's been contact down there, and not enough fouls have been called to suit him. Now what'll happen here, that East St. Louis gets 2 shots, and they'll have the ball out of bounds, but they had the ball anyway, so the most it's going to cost them, well, it didn't cost them anything, because he didn't make either shot.
Well, the coach did not get up.
No, you don't have to. That's one of the ways to get a technical, but there are other ways. You got to watch your mouth. That gets you in a lot more trouble than standing up sometimes.
McKinney, 12 in the corner for the Tigers. He got away from his man. He's looking for Ellis. Oh, and Martin isn't covered again. Anderson's got the rebound.
Martin has come to play offensively, I will say that. He's very active in there, and not afraid to take the shots and put the ball on the floor. The wings for DeSales, McNabb and Michalski, I don't know if they've taken a shot this game yet, and I think they have to.
Anderson wants the ball, and he's got it. A little skyhook.
Great job. He caught the ball, got his balance again, and for that little jump hook, not a little jump hook, it's a big jump hook, but even being as good as Ellis is, he couldn't get his hand on it.
A couple of parade All-Americans. 19 points for Anderson. It's a 2-point game. 3:55 in the third. LaFonso's at the foul line, steps in a little closer. He's got body control. 16 for LaFonso. Sales tries to answer. Akins penetrates, goes into the paint. Couldn't get it to stick.
No, nice moving shot. He put it up there soft, but it just rolled out on him.
Martin slices and deals it up. No, he's got it back. Yes.
All of a sudden, it's back up to 6 again.
1-2-1-1 zone press by the Tigers. Falls back 2-3 zone. Anderson again. He had Ellis on his hip. It's a foul on LaFonso, his second. Watch Anderson pin him.
Come over to tie. Yeah, you got him on his arm. Another good call. That's what, his second foul, though, I think. Yeah, it's the second foul. We've only got 3 minutes to go. That's not a problem. Not yet, at least.
Another quick foul on either big man would be. Anderson's inside, but Martin steals it. So DeSales doesn't get a shot that time. Martin's in the corner to Ellis. Ellis turns to the right and got it.
Now there's that power move that Anderson's been using at the other end. Sales has got to watch themselves now. It's up to 8. They don't want this to get away from them, because they are not a team that can catch up real quick.
Important trip down the court. Akins fakes and shoots.
Oh.
Ellis owns the board. Came out of there to Jackson. Jackson was fouled. Well, the intensity is there.
Now here's the way you can see it again. Chelsea's coming over.
Toughest call you can have. Timeout on the court. 2:26 to play. East St. Louis Lincoln trying for 2 in a row in the lead. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies. Big time basketball game with powerhouse players.
And a powerhouse move.
In a game of this kind, this setting for the state championship, how tough is it to officiate?
Oh, well, you wouldn't get me out there. I don't care what they're paying them. But see, this is an honor for these guys. But they're, well, in my opinion, they're 2 of the best in the state, and in a lot of people's opinion, because they're working a championship game. And we could criticize a call or two, and you know they're going to miss one once in a while. But I think they're doing a fantastic job.
Lincoln's moved up their shooting to 47%. DeSales at 34%, and they'll need to improve that to cut into this 8-point advantage.
I think what makes the game harder to officiate is the size of these players and their quickness.
It's so evident when you see these great teams, and that's with an exclamation point. DeSales in his zone. Jackson a 3. Couldn't go. Rebound one-handed. Ellis guided it home.
What an athletic move. Up there, caught the ball in the air, and then just guided into the hoop, as you mentioned.
10-point advantage, and Eric Anderson tries to answer, and he's fouled by Ellis, his 3rd.
Well, Anderson made a very good move there, because when he went up for the shot, he kind of brought it back over his head. And we're going to see it here again. Now watch, he brings the ball over his head, and Ellis reaches over to block it. I think if Ellis would have backed off, I don't think Anderson could have put that ball in the hoop.
Ellis has 3 fouls, 20 points, and that's power basketball. They just pack it inside, and they're pounding it in there now to Anderson.
Well, that's 3 quick fouls, because he didn't have any at the half. And I said before, when he picked up the second, it wasn't much of a problem yet, and it has now become a problem because it's, 1:55 to go in the 3rd quarter, and he's got his 3rd.
Straight up.
And you know DeSales is going to keep going to Anderson.
That makes it an 8-point lead as Anderson hits a pair.
Have a little 3/4 court pressure now by DeSales, just to change the tempo maybe a little bit, or give East St. Louis a little different look.
Tipped out of bounds by Michalski.
I think this is a good move by Coach Kazmars again, too, because the players have been playing that 1-2-2 zone, and now he's got them trapping a little bit, giving them something a little bit more to think about.
Jackson with a bounce. Ellis missed the rebound. It's on the floor. DeSales comes out of there.
Good scrap by Michalski that time.
Michalski, the steals leader on the club, got it to Akins. Look at the triple team inside. They pack it in. Michalski fires. Will not go.
I was just going to say, Michalski, they're not even guarding him.
Martin's on the other end for one off the window.
Nice assist pass and a good night, soft shot off the glass.
16 for Martin in a big game, and a foul on Martin. 1:06, 3rd quarter. The lead is 10 for the Tigers.
Martin almost had a great play there, because Simmons was a little bit lazy with the pass going across, and he almost anticipated it. He would have had himself a steal in a basket.
I asked Jerry Leggett of Quincy what the big difference was to the Tigers now as early in the season. He said one is the sophomore. He is dramatically better.
East St. Louis is changing their zone a little bit. This is almost, I would say, like a 1-3 zone with a man-to-man on Anderson.
Anderson got free. Ellis gets it. Bradford on the hunt. He's got Stevenson for the pop. starts to slip away from DeSales, and they call timeout. 36 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll be back. Now let's pause for these messages. DeSales trying to climb back. They're 12 down with 36 seconds in the third quarter. In the third quarter late, LaFonso Ellis got his third foul, and the Tigers responded with a change of defense.
What they're doing now is, now they're not going to do it right now. I think they got a different, well, this is their diamond one press. But they're putting a man at the point in the zone, a three-man zone, protecting the baseline, and then Vincent Jackson's going to be man-to-man on Anderson. We can see it now. 21 is fronting Anderson, and he's got, of course, Ellis behind him to help him out.
A glimpse a moment ago of Illinois assistant coach Dick Nagy.
Now what this is going to do is leave Michalski on the left wing over there and McNabb on the right wing here, 23, with open shots.
Under 10 seconds, as you see. The Tigers have the ball back. Bradford goes inside. He's got it back. 3, 2, he doesn't know it. He launches it, it'll count. It didn't go. At the end of 3 quarters for the state championship, the Tigers leading the Pioneers. One of your network sponsors is John Deere. Eight more minutes, Coach. Look at this D.
Right, well, that's Vincent Jackson fronting Anderson, and what you don't see here is that LaFonso, there he is, LaFonso Ellis is standing behind him, so you're not going to get him the ball. I think what's got to happen here is Coach Kazmar should tell McNabb and Michalski to start shooting the ball, because if they don't score, all right, they don't, but at least you got to give them a chance, because they're the ones who are going to have the open shot. They're 12 down now. Something's got to be different, because you're not going to get the ball to Anderson enough to make up for a 12-point difference.
DeSales starts the quarter with a turnover and hence the ball. High post Simmons fakes and shoots. Anderson rebounds, foul on Stevenson.
Hey, you're the 1-and-1.
They had a little bit of a switch there. I think they brought Simmons up to the high post, probably with the idea of going into him for a shot or two, and then leaving Anderson at the baseline, probably to roam around looking for some offensive rebounds. Or to go in the corner for that three-point shot he likes to shoot.
Look at the free throws. DeSales 8 of 9 in the game. Ellis, all of Lincoln's 6 of 9.
Nobody else has shot a free throw.
Nobody else.
And 2 of that, he's only missed 3. 2 of them were that technical foul, if you remember. Seems like when he can go up there with people lined up there on the line, he's deadly.
Anderson's a wonderful foul shooter, almost 80%.
He wasn't the first 2 games, but he sure picked up the slack this championship game.
It's a 10-point game. Right away, a foul on Michalski. Tony picks it up, playing pressure D. DeSales is going to get Jeff Thormeyer, the 6-foot senior, off the bench.
Here we're going to see here's the foul. Lobs it up there. He goes after the ball. Went after it hard. He knocked him over. It's obvious foul.
4th foul, Michalski. Vincent Jackson slides into the front court. Martin's open. Ellis steps back in, moves and scores. It counts and he's fouled.
Well, that's a big play. Very big play. He puts him, 12 up now, and there he's on the line shooting a free throw.
Take a look at this.
Let's see how he gets the ball. He just glides to the other side of the hoop. He's very happy with himself, as you can see.
Foul is on Simmons.
Excuse me, Frank. I think this change of defense is a great move by Coach Lewis to protect this big man with fouls and make the DeSales players get more involved in the offense. He's daring them to shoot and daring them to get involved.
Ellis missed. He has 22 points. Anderson has 23 points. What a war. Simmons fakes. Anderson tips at it. And Ellis has yet another one. And a foul. Boy, it's tough on the board.
Well, it really is now. He got him up in the air, took the shot, missed it. Anderson got the tip. A lot of contact in there. Ellis has got to watch his elbows a little bit, because that could be a foul or a violation also. Have a change of defense here too by DeSales. Now they're man-to-man. Now we do have that. sorry. Now we do have that matchup with Ellis and Anderson guarding each other because DeSales isn't a man-to-man. They've got to do something a little bit different. They're 12 down, 7 minutes to go.
Remember, the three-point shot is in this game. That makes leads even smaller than they really are.
Except the only one who's been willing to shoot that is Akins.
Akins got free. Nab shakes and moves. Ellis yet another rebound. What a power he is around the basket. Jackson made a quick move and one. East St. Louis Lincoln 47, DeSales 35, 6:31 to play in the championship. What a tournament we've had. DeSales got here with an overtime over Simeon, an overtime over Rock Island. Akins a three. Thormeyer goes for it, but Stevenson at 6'7". And a steal. Look at Simmons get his hand on that ball. Anderson goes to the post. Thormeyer wants the entry pass there. Anderson had to come out to get it. And Simmons is in the air, adjusted, couldn't get it to go down.
Oh, Lillington, a lot of intimidation on that one. See, they're really taking Anderson away. The only way he got the ball is to go about 17 feet out. They're taking that away from him.
Traveling on Ellis.
We've had a couple turnovers the last couple times down. It's just that DeSales can't put the ball in the hoop to narrow this lead that East St. Louis has.
Sales looks on. Don Akins checks out. Michalski back in.
I bet you he's back real soon. I just think Coach wants to tell him something. Give him a minute breather here.
5:40 to play. DeSales trying to cut into the lead. They'd like a hoop here to come within 10. McNabb moves and is fouled. DeSales bench checking to see if there might be goaltending.
Well, you hope. You know, you can always ask. They can turn you down, but you can always ask.
The coach of the year in the Catholic League, Mike Hasmars.
What a great job he's done, not only this year, but in previous years also. He's been up there winning a lot of basketball games. It's really, I'm very happy for him that he can make it down here. It's his first trip. 118
wins, only 48 losses in 6 years. McNabb missed.
Now, you just can't get on track offensively.
DeSales has got 2 points so far in the fourth quarter. But that's all Lincoln has got, too. There's a 12-point lead then. Missing a pair. Simmons tapped at it, tried to keep it alive. Martin has it. The Tigers relentlessly move down court.
Clock's becoming more and more of a factor, Frank.
Ellis on a fade. One of those shots you encourage him to take if you're guarding him.
Yeah, and I don't know if Benny Lewis wants that because with the clock winding down like this, I think they can afford to be a little bit more choosy about the shots they take.
Michalski's open at the top. That's Thormeyer, right wing. McNabb busts into the lane for a pop. It won't go. Simmons get it and got it down.
At least McNabb's looking at the basket. He'll put one of those down. He's got to keep shooting. They're good shots. You got to keep firing.
There's still 4:43 to go. Vincent Jackson scoots by his man and gets Ellis. Anderson rebounds. And the Pioneers hit another.
Well, that was a little bit lucky. He missed that shot. He made a nice move and just rolled out on it. I think DeSales will take anything they get right now.
Simmons blocked by a man with those great arms. Akins back in for the Pioneers.
Yeah, right now we've got the 5 starters in. Thormeyer gave each a couple of the guys a little bit of a breather.
Look at this snuff.
Yeah, nice timing.
Michalski can't get one in. And now Bradford wheels it up the court. Jackson quickly blocked by Anderson. Great play by Anderson.
Well, great hustle down court is right. He got a good block. No more goaltending on that one.
Akins turns and calls timeout. 4 minutes, 4 seconds to play. DeSales trying to come back from a 10-point advantage of the Tigers. Now let's pause for these messages. DeSales excited. Their team trying to mount a comeback. They've spent all their timeouts but one, and even the little folks are here.
I think that was a great timeout by DeSales because they got it down to 10. East St. Louis hasn't done much offensively lately. They just got that block shot by Anderson. They had a spark, and I think coach just wanted to remind them we're still in this.
Michalski fakes. Inside it goes to McNabb. He missed. Ellis with 22 points has 9 blocks for a record. Anderson with 23 points on a block.
McNabb is hurt. Did something to his neck.
Jackson on the move. Running some clock. Nice defense that time by DeSales. Couldn't turn it over. Bradford is outside and backing up. Lincoln well prepared. Ellis on the blocks. Exchanges with Martin. The lead is 10.
Clock is becoming more and more effective, Frank.
And East St. Louis do it. They've got 3 minutes to hold on. A steal by DeSales. Now let's see what they do. Anderson's at the high post. Now moves. Michalski, 3.
Boy, they need that badly. If he could just loosen up a little bit. He's wide open on that shot. He hits another one. What do we got? We're down to 7 now.
There's a steal. It's Akins. Missed the layup at the 2:30 mark. Great steal. Couldn't get it down. Ellis turns this time to his left. Hangs up, throw up a bad shot. Got it back. And is fouled.
Mistake by Anderson, a great play by Ellis. He took the shot, and it was obviously a bad shot, but because of the defense. And then he fouled the shot and made a good thing out of it.
Look at Akins take the ball away here, and it won't.
Just shot a little bit too hard. That's very disappointing for Mr. Akins.
4 fouls on McNabb, and you can see where he's holding his shoulder. Sean McNabb, 6'1", sophomore for DeSales. A little treatment there. And Ellis, another. He missed it. He has 23. The lead is 8. He has all the free throws attempted by his team in the game. Michalski, 3 more. No. Ellis. Rebound advantage for the Tigers here late. Under 2 minutes. Vincent Jackson on the move. Nice play by Eric Anderson to get the ball. DeSales, 8 away. There's the clock. 3-point shot, Akins. Rebound, Simmons for 2. Now it's 6. DeSales puts on the pressure. Foul on Thormeyer. And the Tigers will now have to shoot free throws. Vincent Jackson, 62% free throw shooter. He's 52% from 3-point range.
Well, as we said before, no matter what you've hit during the season, in this situation here, it doesn't make any difference. These are clutch, very crucial, and of course a lot of pressure. Boy, what a nice release. That's picture perfect form.
Very confident shot.
I don't think he realizes he's what, a minute 32 away from the state championship.
Gets 17 in the Super, 14 earlier today. Jackson hit them both in the clutch. A minute and a half to play. Michalski tries a 3. Yes! He's hit 2 out of 3 from there. 5-point ball game with 1:20. And wouldn't you know it, Jackson.
That's a break, I think, for East St. Louis, because they don't need that shot. But it went in, so it sure looks good.
4 points in a row for Jackson. Michalski again. Good again! 4-point game at 1 minute. Steal by DeSales. They got a chance. Akins score! 2-point game. We'll come back for the dramatic finish in a moment. Now let's pause for this message.
The shades of, was it Friday night? With the sales.
Let's see. Aikens got the basket, didn't he?
If we get the ball back with 2 down with this much time.
What an experience being in the state tournament. It transcends just basketball. The experience, the commitment, the intensity, the excitement. Coach Bill Geist, you've experienced it all. Is this special?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're having a lot of fun right now, I'll tell you that.
So is Tony Michalski.
You better believe it. I think he'd like to start the game over again. That's it. His third three-pointer.
Followed by Aiken Steele there.
Well, what's interesting there is that Coach Kazmaier told Thormeyer to foul. Well, he went after the ball thinking, okay, if I foul, that's what Coach wants me to do. I'll put him on the line. But I may just get the steal, and that's exactly what happened, and we got a 2-point game.
It's wild here. Vincent Jackson will take the ball out of bounds for Lincoln. They lead DeSales 52-50. There's the clock, 53 seconds. And what a comeback by the Pioneers. Ellis helps out. Aikens almost got it. And a foul on Thormeyer.
That could be their game plan, to foul, send them to the line to see what happens, because they do have a hot 3-point shooter out here right now, and of course you still have Eric Anderson underneath.
DeSales got by Simeon in overtime. Got by Rock Island in overtime.
Well, it's an even number. We could end up again. What kind of free throw shooter is
71 for Martin. Takes a lot of time. And gave his team a 3-point lead, a sophomore.
I was just going to say, he's a sophomore.
17 in the game, Punzo Martin.
You got to remember, too, DeSales only has one more timeout, so if they want to stop the clock, they can do it one time.
Martin hit them both.
Clutch free throw shooting for East St. Louis so far.
DeSales needs 2 possessions. Aikens and Michalski outside. This is Eric Anderson. Michalski pulls up. 30 seconds, 3-point shot, Aikens. Rebound, Vincent Jackson tied up.
The arrow goes to DeSales.
Possession DeSales. 26 seconds. The Pioneers down 4.
East St. Louis is now guarding Michalski, and they're leaving Thormeyer and Aikens open. So those are the 2 I think that have to take that shot.
Michalski's covered, fires anyway. Can't hit. Saved in bounds to the Tigers. Martin's on the other end alone with 15 seconds going. That might have been the state championship. Aikens a 3. Not good. Michalski rebounds for 2. Timeout, 5 seconds. Five seconds in the game. Michalski hit it, but the Tigers have the ball and a 4-point advantage.
The key is, I think, the 4-point advantage, because even if they get a steal or if they foul and get a missed free throw, this was a big break because 2 of the East St. Louis players were out of bounds.
It's tipped back in by DeSales, and Martin connects for the advantage. There's 5 seconds left, and Mike Kazmaier won't give up the hope.
No, you don't. What they need is either a 5-second violation where they can get the ball right away, or a steal. But even if they do get the ball and score, they can't stop the clock anymore, Frank.
What an exciting game. Your network sponsors, the Illinois Pork Producers, Country Companies, John Deere, American Dairy Association of Illinois, and the Illinois Beef Council are happy to be presenting tonight's action. Hope you're enjoying it just a little bit as much as we are. Our network stations, thanks along the line: WPWR Chicago, WQRF Rockford, WCEE Mount Vernon, WQAD Moline, WSIL Harrisburg, KHQA in Quincy, WHOI Peoria, WRSP Springfield, WCCU Champaign. Thank you all. 5 seconds to go in the championship. The Tigers trying to repeat. They lead by 4. Whistle before it's in bounds, and a foul on DeSales. No time off the clock.
Intentional foul was called, which means 2 shots and the ball out of bounds.
It is an intentional foul call on Michalski. And the rule is clear. 2 shots and the ball. Michalski has fouled out of the game. A great play and a great effort for that senior.
See if we can see it. Oh, he's got it. Yeah, he's got a hold of his jersey and pulling him down. That's why that's a correct call. Intentional foul. I think what he was looking for is a charge and hopefully get the ball without the clock moving.
DeSales gets Tamel Moore. Now Bob Clay, Dale Parrish up off their bench. Trent Lowry.
This is
Doug
a nice
Staley.
thing by Coach Kasbach. He's taking all his starters out. They all deserve a big round of applause by their fans. What a great, great season they've had.
They will have won 29 and lost 2, both to the state champions. Chris McKinney for the Tigers is shooting. Eric Anderson with 23 points in the game will be headed to Notre Dame. One of the best players, or check it, Indiana. Ellis goes to Notre Dame.
Boy, can you imagine one of those schools that both of them? Holy smokes.
Anybody would be an instant power. Congratulations to the Pioneers, the Chicago Catholic League champions. And to the team, the first since '72 to win back-to-back. Ellis at the buzzer on 3. There it is. State champions again. His coach calls him the truth. He said he was on a mission.
We said earlier he's going to shoot a 3-pointer, didn't we?
He said he'd shoot the 3.
Look how far out he is. Imagine the strength. Look at his follow-through. That's really a great shot. That's proper form.
Look how far out on the court.
Look at his release, though, Frank. I mean, that's a nice release and a perfect swish. Oh, that's a great ending. I guess a very fitting ending to a great tournament for that young man.
For the record, the final score is 60-52.
What a great game. Just a great game.
The
made it exciting there. They were 2 down, but and they had the momentum, and East St. Louis was up to it and scored those free throws. That takes a lot of guts.
March Madness is what athletics is all about. It'll produce memories that'll last forever.
That's a great scene, isn't it, Frank? Great scene.
East St. Louis Lincoln, only the second team in 30 years to repeat. DeSales, who survived a couple of overtimes to get to the championship, just simply ran into the best team in the state.
Well, I have to agree with you. I think they took everybody on and they played different styles. Today it was a half-court game, really. I thought the style of play favored DeSales. And they beat them at that. They beat the 2 teams running. Now they beat a team half-court.
All right, now we're ready for the presentation. Here's Steve Adams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to midcourt for the presentation of the first and second place team and individual awards for the boys Class AA state basketball tournament. presenting medallions to the squad members of the second place team will be Dr. Richard Stevenson of Dunbar High School in Chicago, who serves the IHSA as Vice President of the board, and Mr. Thomas Howard of Fremd High School in Palatine, who serves the IHSA as Secretary of the board. At this time, please meet the pioneers of St. Francis de Sales High School, who finished the 1988 season in second place with a final record of 29 wins and 2 losses. Meet the principal of St. Francis de Sales, Mr. Walter Schultz. Head coach, Mike Kazmars. Assistant coach, Ron Baliga. Assistant coach, Larry Moore.
After this, then I'll just wrap it? Yeah. Okay.
Manager, Randy Jurek. Manager, Corey Smith. And now the players. Number 5, Trent Lowry. Number 10, Don Akins. Number 11, Tony Michalski. Number 14, Tamel Moore. Number 22, Jeff Thormeyer. Number 23, Sean McNabb. Number 25, Rod Amison. Number 40, Dale Parrish. Number 42, Doug Salis. Number 44, John Simmons. Number 45, Bob Clay. And number 55, Eric Anderson. Those are the pioneers of St. Francis de Sales High School. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the first place team will be Mr. Leroy Newton of Carterville High School in Carterville, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board, and Mr. Fred Curtis of East High School in Belleville, who serves the IHSA as treasurer of the board. At this time, please meet the Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln High School, who finished the 1988 season in first place with a final record of 28 wins and 4 losses. Here is the principal of Lincoln High School, Mr. John Bailey Jr. Head coach, Benny Lewis. Assistant coach, Jethro Brown. Assistant coach, Leland Seabury Jr.
We ought to have Lewis on for a quick thing.
Number 10, Stanford Riley.
If we can get him for just a,
Number 12, Chris McKinney. Number 13, Marco Harris. Number 14, Darian Nash. Number 21, Vincent Jackson. Number 22, Conzo Martin. Number 23, Lawrence Bradford. Number 25, Jason Rogers. Number 43, Bryant Stevenson. Number 44, James Lewis. Number 52, Sharif Ford. And number 20, LaFonso Ellis. Trainer, Corey Jennings. And manager, Vince E. Staten. Those are the Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln. And now for the trophy presentations. Presenting the second place trophy will be Mr. Edward Roberts of Oak Forest High School in Oak Forest, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. Will Coach Mike Kazmars and captains of St. Francis de Sales please step forward to receive the second place trophy. Mr. Roberts, if you please. Congratulations to St. Francis de Sales, this year's second place finisher. And now presenting the first place trophy will be Mr. L.L. Astroff, who serves the IHSA as executive secretary. Will Coach Benny Lewis and captains of East St. Louis Lincoln please step forward to receive the first place trophy. Congratulations to East St. Louis Lincoln, state champion for the second consecutive year.
Class AA started in 1972, and so since then, this is the first team to win 2 titles in a row in AA. They win 60-52. LaFonso Ellis and company, the Tigers. Benny Lewis's 3rd championship in his coaching career for the Tigers. Special moment for the Tigers, who finished their season 28-4. St. Francis de Sales, the Pioneers, close out at 29-2. Now let's go to the floor and Art Kimball.
And a very happy Benny Lewis. Benny, congratulations to you and your youngsters.
Thank you very much. It was rough going down there in the last minute or so, but our guys came through and won it for us.
They made a real run at you, and you managed to stave it off, but it got very, very tight at the finish.
Sure did. I got to give Coach Kaz credit. The guys really came back after us. I thought we had it sold up there, but with about a minute or so to go, but they made a couple of key steals in those 3-pointers. I'm telling you, they can always put you back in the ball game. The guy wasn't shooting them at first, but he really shot them in the last minute or so.
Benny, congratulations to you. Championship number 3.
Thank you very much.
Benny Lewis, the skipper of the state champion, East St. Louis Lincoln Tigers. Now back to the bench and Frank Bassoni.
Thank you very much. And there you see your final score. So that's the way that goes in 1988 Class AA. Rock Island was 4th. Peoria Manual was 3rd. DeSales was 2nd. And the champion, the repeaters, East St. Louis Lincoln, with a 60-52 victory. For Coach Bill Geist and for Jim Albrecht, for Art Kimball and all the rest of our crew, Frank Bassoni wishing you all a very pleasant good evening. And we'll see you next year for March Madness.
Event. This telecast was presented by the American Dairy Association of Illinois, your local dairy farmer, delivering to you their very best every day. The Illinois Beef Council, beef, real food for real people. John Deere and your local John Deere dealer. The country companies and their more than 900 agents throughout Illinois. You've got the country behind you. And the Illinois Pork Producers Association. The 10,000 pork producers in Illinois encourage you to try the new, lean, nutritious pork, the other white meat.